What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be ranking the best budget players in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. What do I consider a budget player? Roughly 10k. There are definitely players I forgot. No question, because I made most of this list. This video was meant to come out the day after I made the best players tier list, which I can't remember how many days ago that was. This was meant to come out that day, and obviously I ended up delaying it honestly quite a bit. Like, it seems like the best players tier list was out on Tuesday? This was meant to be out on Wednesday. And obviously, oh yeah, a lot of leaks and stuff came out on Thursday, and then obviously it's not coming out Christmas Day or any of them. So I also was meant to have uploaded this. I'm recording this at 4:30 a.m. on St. Stephen's Day. We are pulling in 2 all-nighters in 3 days, which is not an ideal thing, but I mean, the Christmas period is the Christmas period. Gotta get work done so I can spend more time with my family. But yeah, so these are the players we have. If I forgot anybody, let me know. Also, Marcus Smart is a very debatable inclusion here. Marcus Smart is a very, very debatable inclusion because it's hard to consider him a budget player. It really is. And obviously all these guys are new, so I'm gonna chuck some of these guys into random positions. Chuck some of these new Christmas cards. You got a lot of players from that set. A lot of really good players in that set as well, by the way. So yeah, let's just kind of mess around with these. And let's start off with Gary Harris. Now, Gary Harris, I think at this stage, C or D, obviously when he's evoed up, like, Gary Harris still has a 70 on quick, which is a release that I hate, but I know some people like it. He's still got 70 on quick. He's still got a gold clamps. So a lot of people don't like, or a lot of people do like this card. Even still, I think maybe C, but I'll go D for now. Rocco A. As far as budget players go, Robert Covington is still usable in most settings. He's still very, very usable in most settings. His defense is top class. His shooting is really good. He doesn't do anything else. At the end of the day, do you really need to do much else except catch, shoot, and clamp up your opponent? I don't think so. So I think A tier is the best spot for Robert Covington right here. So then we got Jalen Suggs. So Jalen Suggs is going to go... I'm going to go B tier for Jalen Suggs. I think that's probably the best. Or there's not that many good budget point guards, so I'm going to go B tier. Like, there really aren't. Like, unless you want to go like Marcus Smart, if you consider him budget, he's S. If you look at point guards at like 2.5k, you've got like Isaiah Thomas, who I think is the best for that price. One of the more underrated players in the game, that Amethyst Isaiah Thomas. But like, that's a real budget point guard, like the entry level point guards. I still think Jalen Suggs is a more than usable entry level point guard. So I'm gonna B. Mike can move down to C. Taylor Horton Tucker is a garbage man. The guy is a garbage man. He does nothing of note. He does absolutely nothing of note in game. Well, he sucks. He sucks. Alex English, I mean, maybe he goes worthless as well. English at least has mellow base, which is a release that I really like, and he shoots wide open. Like, that is the only thing with Alex English, is that if you're wide open with Alex English, you're going to make most of your shots, but I think E tier is probably fair for him. Sadiq Bey. I'm shocked that I'm putting him here, but I'm putting him in A. I don't think Sadiq Bey belongs in S. I think you can maybe make the argument he belongs in S. Because he does everything at a really high rate. I just think as time's gone on, I prefer Sadiq Bey to Rocco, but I do think they belong in the same tier. Sadiq Bey is like a jack of all trades, master of none, but he does everything at a high enough level that that's not a negative. He's sometimes jack of all trades, master of none can be a negative, but with him, he's good enough at everything that is, in fact, a positive. So he's going to go into A tier. Bill Laimbeer. I mean, his release is borderline unusable, but his actual stats and defense aren't that bad for a budget center. I mean, he's going to go E or D. I'll go D for now, but he's like not brilliant. Bojan, worthless. Bojan was good week 1. I mean, he literally came out week 1. He was the first primetime pack. Hard to believe that was... Jesus, nearly 4... Was it nearly 4 months ago at this stage? Like 3.5 months ago. It's been a bit of a weird year, but it finally seems like we're starting to crawl out a little bit of dead season. So, Bojan Bogdanovic seems to... Like, he was a solid card. He can still shoot wide open, but he doesn't really do much. Brandon Ingram. You see, I think I was very low on Brandon Ingram. He actually plays really good offense. I was definitely low on Brandon Ingram initially. I think I put Brandon Ingram like C or D tier last time. And the more I use Ingram, the more I'm like, he still sucks on defense. Don't get me wrong. He still absolutely sucks on defense. But he's easier to hide in defense than a lot of people because he does have decent length. And while his steal rating is low, he does actually get in lanes. He just hit topsoil back to the other person. He doesn't feel as bad as I initially thought he was. And offensively, obviously, he's brilliant. So, Brandon Ingram, B tier. I think A. It's hard to not put Bowen in A with that Roko because he does kind of a similar thing. He's one of the best defenders. I would put the other version of Bruce Bowen up there because he's got the half clamps. He's a bit better, but both Bowens are brilliant. Cam Reddish. Reddish is going to go D, maybe E. He was alright for his time. He really was alright for his time. Time's not now. Duarte is better than Gary Harris. I stand by that statement. Duarte is better than Gary Harris. Duarte is not bad at all. 6'5", great shot. Can't really handle the ball. But his just overall game kind of lacks. But, I mean, he's a cone. He's a not terrible one. CP3. Now, CP3 is an interesting one. He might go A. Like, CP3 is between A and B. I like him. I don't love him. And he's not that cheap. Like, for me, I think Kuzi's better than CP3. And Kuzi's, like, way cheaper. So, I'm going to keep him B for now. But CP3 is not terrible. Kobe White, E. I don't like this card at all. Actually, no. He's 6. Yeah, actually, as far as Kobe White versus Jalen Suggs, there's a debate there. There's a debate to be had. I don't know. Why did I start off in E tier? That's just me. That's just a 4:39 in the morning ridiculous call. I can guarantee you, because of how tired I am, I'm going to make at least 1 or 2 more ridiculous calls on this one right here. But, nah, Kobe White, easily a C tier player. 6'5" point guard, good handle, good shooting. Stats lack a little bit, but he's alright. Gallinari, I mean, he's a 6'10" wing, so I'm just going to put him in C tier. You can hide him. He's not bad. Darius Miles, B tier for now. Again, I used Darius Miles at limited, and he was really good again. Every time I use Darius Miles, he's good. He's obviously not at the tier of... I think he's a similar tier to Ingram. He's obviously a week 1 card. Dude came out on the 17th of September. He came in the very first flashback. There's just something about Darius Miles. I still use him. And not my main squad, but like I still use him in limited. I still occasionally use him in clutch time, and he's never let me down. He really, from the start of the year to now, he's never let me down. Is he a good player? No, but I mean, he does a job. Griffith, D. I don't like Darryl Griffith at all. I said at the time that I prefer Gary Harris, and some people said they were all for it. Some people call me crazy, and I still stand by Gary Harris better than Darryl Griffith. Dinwiddie. Now I'm putting Dinwiddie in because he's the only cheap small point or tall point guard in the game. And I'm not talking about Kobe White is a tiny player, but because tall point guards are hard to come by, he's the only cheap one. He's going to go into A tier, but I don't really like Dinwiddie that much. He kind of reminds me of like a much worse version of Peyton. I liked him when this 2-man game was a thing, when guard-to-guard screens were a thing, but that's really been it. Then we've got Davion Mitchell, B tier, undersized, good defender. But that's pretty much it. I mean, we got to put some bums in right now. We're 10 minutes in. We got to go for the low tier players. We got to go for the low tier players. So, I haven't really found... Oh, you. Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon Jennings. 2K made you a bum. And where is Rudy Fernandez? Where is Rudy Fernandez? They gave you big dribble style. Wherever Rudy Fernandez is, he belongs as well. Rudy Fernandez. They made these guys Trey Murphy clones. If you don't know who Trey Murphy is, he's some 6'8" power forward rookie. I'm not even kidding. They made him clones of some random player. I'm guessing that Trey Murphy the like SIGs of Trey Murphy is the base SIGs, as in like they're the default SIGs of a player, because both of the in 2 weeks these guys have the exact same SIGs and they're both so, but they can't move. Like you might say, oh, dribble style doesn't matter how much their stats are good. No, dribble style may not matter that much. You can argue that, but not when it's big dribble style. These guys can't even turn. Like they can't turn. If you try to dribble the ball behind your back, they stumble over their own feet, despite the fact that they are athletic guards. Lads, these guys are worthless. I'm standing by that. They are worthless. Juwan. I mean, I like Juwan more than most people. Where is JJ? Is JJ Redick here? Marketing worthless. Keenan at this stage of the game, Larry Keenan is worthless. At this stage of the game, Kenny Martin's worthless. Oh, you better believe the worst player in worthless is Marvin Bagley. He is a straight up trash can. This guy is awful. He's absolutely awful. Have I not got Redick in here? Because Redick is another player that would go into worthless. Redick and Jason Williams, both these guys go into worthless. And you might say, oh, Mick, Redick has got like, he's got a 3-pointer of like 90 something. Dude's got 72 speed. Troy Daniels is the same card, except he's a better release, 80 something speed, and the exact same badges. No, Ray J Redick is worthless. He is worthless. Harrison Barnes, you're going to go into worthless tier as well. You suck as well. These guys all suck. And we have got De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron's at that, like, maybe he's at this level here. He's the best. He's the best in B tier. He's definitely the best in B tier. I don't know why. I was like, oh, is De'Aaron lower? It's like, no, De'Aaron's not even, like, you can't put De'Aaron in C. He's the best in B. DeAndre. Not that many great budget centers. I'm going to put DeAndre in C tier. I struggle with him now. He's not even fast anymore. Like 70 something speed's not that fast. He was good for his time though, but again, dude came out at the end of season 1, and he has been the last of the Lifetime Gender Awards. We haven't seen Lifetime Gender Awards since season 1. DeJounte S. Like, look, as far as budget point guards go, DeJounte's up there with the best of them. The guy can move. The guy shoots the ball well. He defends. Plays lanes. He dunks. Really good length. No question, S tier for DeJounte. Del Curry, I mean, D. He's like quite a bit better version of JJ Redick. I did the same release, just Del Curry can actually do other stuff and, well, doesn't have 70 speed. Rose. I'm going to put Rose in I would put Rose in B tier, pre-nerf. Like, side-to-side nerf. But D-Rose is good. And D-Rose is good. He can left, right. He could left, right. So that's the D-Rose side. He still gets a really good release. Plays no defense, but he's good on offense. Des Mason. Oh, I'm sorry, worthless there. You suck. You're like a way worse version of OJ Mayo, and I don't like OJ Mayo. Dinar Raja. Honestly, as far as centers go, he's A. As far as like cheap centers go, he's A tier. Dinar Raja can run very fast. He can dunk. He can block shots. He gets in lanes. Problem is, he no longer has that 7'11" wingspan, which is quite a bit of a problem for a guy who was heavily reliant on having a 7'11" wingspan. Then we got Donovan. Donovan's gonna go B. He would be A, but there are just too many tall, small shooting guards in the game. If he was able to play point guard, he'd be probably A, borderline S. But like, he's a 6'1" 2 guard, so I can't justify that. Danielle E. Hits wide open shots and he's kind of big. Duncan Robinson E. Does not play any defense anymore, so I cannot justify putting him above E. Brent Barry, he kind of sucks, but he's not quite worthless. He does suck though. He does suck. I just want to put that out there. He sucks, but he doesn't suck as bad as these guys. Justin Holiday, he's all right. I mean, I've literally just used him once on an account. It may have been Triple Threat? No, it wasn't. I just used the dude in freestyle. If there's a player that I've never used on an account that I go on, I use him in freestyle all the time. But Justin Holiday is gonna go C. He could be higher, he could be lower. I think from what I used of him, he got Lopez basic or release. He's all right. Windler. Now Windler's going D, but I really like Dylan Windler. If you guys remember, I think I used Windler in the... There was a limited week where I used Dylan Windler, and he had everything. You guys don't know, he's lefty clay. So he's, like, if he gets a really good card later on in the year, like, if 2K decide to give Dylan Windler some Amethyst card with, like, gold range extender, gold clamps, it's literally lefty Clay Thompson. All of Clay's SIGs, all of Clay's shooting animations, but he's left-handed. Ha-Seong Jin. I'm going to go A, but I love Ha-Seong Jin. I used him today. I used him today in, well, yesterday when you're watching this, in MyTEAM Limited. He just ate. He ate Mo Bamba alive. Like, Mo Bamba tried. Mo Bamba tried. That's the only way I can describe Mo Bamba, how he got on versus Ha-Seong Jin. He tried. He failed miserably. He failed miserably. Ha-Seong Jin, literally, one dribble into the chest, dunk. He did the same thing to Evan Mobley. One dribble into his chest, dunk. Like, paint match the hell out of Mobley. Like, I love Mobley. I really like Mobley. You probably saw in, well, I don't know when I'm gonna upload this video. One of me using like my Christmas Day squad. The man I dropped Mobley because he was awful, but Mobley is good. Ha-Seong Jin eats him alive. Mayo, I really don't like OJ Mayo. D tier. A lot of people do. I don't like him. Scotty, B. Like, one of the best defenders in the game. I'm trying to think B or C, but that's 74 3-pointer. It's tough. I know a lot of people are not going to have success with a 3-pointer that low, and I don't mind it too much, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a good release or say that it's a good 3-pointer. But great on defense. But there is a Scotty that's going to be a higher tier. Snow. Now, Snow's not quite as good as Dante. Like, the Snow used to come into my squad when I was like, you know what, I'm going to tactically downgrade DeJounte. Snow will come in. Snow is A tier. He's no question about A tier, though. Freddie VanVleet. At this stage in the game, Freddie VanVleet's probably like C or B tier. Like, he's one of these tiers. I'm going to put him in... I'm going to put him in C. But he's hovering. He is hovering. Furkan Korkmaz can shoot wide open, can't do anything else. His release is really quick, though, so... I mean, actually, screw it. Like, Rudy Fernandez can shoot wide open. That's not enough to get above this tier. He's worthless. Gerald Wallace, C. I love the pink down Gerald Wallace. I don't like this Gerald Wallace even on defense. His shooting is... It's meh. It's meh. We have a good few players left. We're 70 minutes in. Like, I was only expecting this tier list to take max like 30-ish minutes. I probably will take in there and that. Because I gotta somehow in the next 2 hours finish like my top 100 list and record the entirety of my top 100. So it's gonna be a not so fun 2 hours for me. But Glenn, I'm gonna put Glenn in D. Glenn just shoots the ball. Like, is Glenn much better than Windler? I don't think so. Quickly was good for his time. I'll put him in E, but he was good for his time. Franz Wagner. I love Franz Wagner. I'm going to put him in B because most people obviously don't like Franz Wagner. I think there's just something about him. You know those players that you use? Every single person has them. There's that one player that you use that most people think is a scrub. Even stats and badges wise, you would think he was a scrub, but for some reason he plays really well for you. That for me is Franz Wagner. Him and Ginobili. Ginobili's just ridiculous for me as well. Vince Carter. S. And I stand by it. Like, this is the most slept on card by a mile that has come out the last while. This is basically the pink diamond, and he's 2000 MT. There has been no more slept on card than this Vince Carter. I'm sorry, I might make a video on that when I get back on Tuesday. But he might be the most slept on card. I can't even believe that Vince Carter is still he's still like just not hyped. He's that good. So then, Walter Davis. Walter Davis, he is A. He's like the cheap T-Mac. He is A. Jabari. He has this weird point center gimmick, but he can hit wide open. So I'll go E tier. He's better than Danielle. Crowder. Now I'm putting Crowder low B. I think Crowder's a really nice player. He shoots the ball well. He plays good defense. I think overall Crowder is really, really solid. Rex Chapman, I'm putting B tier as well. I think defensively he is quite a bit lacking. I think he's very, very undersized as far as guards go. I do think the guy is quite undersized, but he's not awful. He's really not awful, and he's definitely one of the better players in B tier. Jalen Green, as much as this people might be shocked, B tier. The guy is mini Zach LaVine. Like, if you've used the Zach LaVine diamond card, trust me, Jalen Green is just a mini version of him. Well, not even a mini version, a slightly downgrade version of him. Gobert does nothing except paint matches. E tier, and there are guys that are much just bigger than him. Worthy was God for his time. He's D. He's not as good as nearly as good as Miles. He was really, really good for his time though. Like, he came out in the same week as Miles. He was 2000 MT the day he came out in September, on the 17th of September. I mean, he was in my TTO squad for so long. He was great. Butler. I don't know. B, I prefer Scotty to Butler. I also prefer this guy to Butler. Where Landry Fields, the more I use Landry Fields, the more I like Landry Fields. The more I've attempted to use that Jimmy Butler, the more I dislike that Butler. I think Landry Fields is B tier. I think that's it's a better spot for him is here in B. So we've got Jingles. How am I saying Jingles? Joe Harris. Screw it. I'll record the best 100 players on Tuesday. I'll record that on Tuesday. It's a little bit later than I would have liked, but screw it. I need to sleep after this. Joe Harris, he hits wide open shots, but he does it at a high enough rate that he's gonna go E tier. Hondo B. He's really solid. Nah, Hondo A. Hondo's in that tier with like Sadiq Bey, Rocco. He may not be as good as them, but he's a really good 3-and-D guy. I mean, what? Like, there's no debate. Mr. Jonathan Isaac is going into S tier. A zero brainer. Like, no brainer whatsoever. Jonathan Isaac is S. Jordan Clarkson, B. I like Clarkson though. I think in terms of just pure offense, if the left riding was still a thing, like pre-burst patch, Clarkson was just ridiculous on offense because of the way he moved. Really, really good shooter. I think later on in the year, because he's a 6'4" point guard. If we somehow get a 6'5" Jordan Clarkson with that base 107, with range extender and some defensive badges, we could be on something. Poole, hey. Really decent point guard. I don't think he's at that top tier. I don't think he's quite DeJounte. Some people would prefer him to DeJounte, but for me, it's DeJounte over him. But he's going to go A tier. Jose Calderon, D. Doesn't really move that well. He does shoot the ball well. If Calderon's left open, he's all right. Let's put him in D tier. David West. I mean, David West doesn't really miss. I'm going to put him B. He doesn't really miss. He's cheap. He's like 7K. He's good in the post. He's just kind of slow. You know what? Screw it. He is A. He is A. Like, is he that much worse than Dino? I don't think so. He is A tier. He's the most disappointing diamond of that new set, but he is going to go A tier. Giddey. Before they nerfed the name behind the back, I would have put Giddey in E tier. I'll put Giddey in worthless. Giddey sucks. Josh Smith, A. A, absolutely no-brainer. I'm going to move Dino down one. I don't think Dino's as good as Josh Smith. It's a close one with Dino, but I'm going to move him down. But Josh Smith, really fast, plays good defense. Most people are able to agree with his release. Josh Smith is a super... I don't know why I'm saying super underrated. Like, everyone uses this guy for so long. He's not underrated. He's just super good card. Paul Arzin, B. I'm not going to give him A tier because he needs so many badges to make him usable. If you kind of know what you're doing with Juwan Howard, he's not worthless, but he's not good either. Kean Johnson, worthless. He's terrible. I've used him. He's terrible. I don't even know what he does well. He's just bad. Cat, at this stage of the game, plays no defense whatsoever. Cat's going to go D tier. He's going to get a D tier. Herder. Now, Herder, in terms of pure offensive talent, is one of the best. But I don't think he belongs in A tier because I don't know if he's better than Jalen Green. They do a similar thing. Like, Herder's really freaking good. One of the most underrated scores in the game with that release. But I'm going to go B tier for Herder. For now, anyway. Middleton, 3 and D, solid. I like his release a lot more than Jimmy. He's going to go B tier. He's just one of the solid players in B. But that's where he's going. Corver, I don't like Corver. Like, you need to badge him up. That release, I should be way better at base 17 than I am. I don't mind it. Or so I should be better with Corver than I am because I like base 17. I don't know what it is with Corver. I just couldn't really have success with him. And his player build feels weird. Kyrie, he's probably not for most. I hate him. You know what? He can kind of score. E tier. LeBron, C. C or D. I don't think LeBron's better than James Worthy. I'm going D tier. I came up against 5 games of limited, played LeBron once, and I was shocked that I played him once. Jordan. And this one's an interesting one. I think I'm putting Jordan in S. I think for 10. You know what? No, I'm not. Eddie Jones is better than Jordan. Eddie Jones is not on this list because Eddie Jones was 11,000 MT. Jordan's like 9,000 MT. Eddie Jones is better than Michael Jordan. I'm just putting it out there. Eddie Jones is better than him. And you can make the argument that Bruce Bowen's better than Jordan. He's hovering, but I'm putting him in A for now. Mo Bamba, C. 68 strength. He can kind of shoot the ball. He can't move at all. He has 9 badges, and most of them are useless. Ludor, B. Honestly, Ludor and that duo with Pokushevsky's Poku here. I kind of messed it around, so I can't really see some of these. Poku's not here, but Ludor and Poku duo both going the same tier. Both going to that B tier. It's not even a bad duo. It's really not a bad duo at all. 2 players I think are decent. Matisse Tybal and Scotty and Mikal Bridges. S. 3 S's in a row. Matisse Tybal's better than Jordan. Screw it, Jordan. Jordan's going in there. Like, Matisse Tybal, he plays lanes well. He guards ball well. And he shoots the ball well. Mikal Bridges guards ball well. Shoots the ball well. And he's one of the best guys at playing lanes in the entire game. Mikal Bridges has come in. He's come back into my squad. Like, I've gotten rid of some players. And he's coming in and out of my squad. He's been spectacular. The guy has been absolutely spectacular for me. So, Mikal Bridges, no-brainer, S-tier player. As well as that, we then have got Jordan, the best on-ball defender of all of these. Shoots the ball a little bit worse than all of them, but he's also the best guy on the basket. So, it's close, and I'll put them all in this. Muscala, he's a stretch 5 who can shoot when he's wide open. That is all he does. Miles Bridges, B. I like Miles Bridges. You can't really play him at the power forward in his main position. He can only really play small forward. He's still a little bit undersized for that, but I mean, if you want to move Miles Bridges up to A, I'm not gonna hold it against you. Miles is good. Yeah, he's 7'6", so I'm not putting him worthless tier. I am not putting Rick Smits in worthless tier for the exact same reason. And you better believe for that exact same reason, Sim Vular is going into E tier. They're not very good. Westbrook, E. Westbrook plays in game. He felt like he was a bit better than like a Jason Williams, but it's barely E tier. I don't know how he skipped out of worthless tier. Mo Williams is horrific. He's just horrific. He can't shoot. He's got that Wolf Frazier base. He can barely move. His stats are good, but that doesn't mean anything when your SIGs are as bad as his are. And we got Nemanja Bjelica. He can shoot when he's wide open. E tier. Mobley. Evan Mobley. Get up into S. I have a love-hate relationship with Evan Mobley. There are times when I will be using Evan Mobley for a while and I'm thinking, this is the best center in the game. Or best power forward in the game. There are also games where I use Evan Mobley and I come out of it thinking, I am never using this card again. And that's kind of my thing with Mobley. It is just completely split. Some days I'm thinking he's one of the best cards in the game. Other days, there's nothing I would rather do than not use Evan Mobley. But, well, what I'm talking about other days. The dude's been out for 2 days. There are some times. Because, again, I don't play this game for long periods of time. I might play an hour and then take a break and then come back for another hour. And there's just... Mobley's just weirdly inconsistent for me. Patty Mills, he's so good at 3 hunting that I'm putting Patty Mills into B tier. Honestly, I think... No, I'll go C tier. He's too small. He's the worst defensive player here. But his base 98 is very, very good. Millsap, I'm going to go B, but I'm going to go high B. I really like Millsap. He's similar level to Oroko. He's more of like an inside presence than Rocco. Marcus Smart, he might be over 10k. If he's not over 10k, we all know Marcus Smart's going S tier. Like Marcus Smart, in terms of just overall point guards, is top 10, arguably top 5. Marcus Smart's brilliant. He's just brilliant. Then we've got RJ Barrett. So RJ Barrett is going to go D tier. His stats and badges aren't the greatest, but I mean, his SIGs are pretty decent. He doesn't really miss that much. You could probably argue C tier, but I'm going to put him D. Terrence Ross, I hate him. E tier. I hated him when he came out. I hate him now. He's E tier. Troy Daniels. C. He's really cheap, but his movement's all right. His release is fantastic, and he's like 800 coins, so you can't go wrong with that. Troy Daniels, C tier. Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is like a worse... He's going to go C tier. He's like, imagine if Kevin Huerter was 2 inches shorter and had a 4-inch shorter wingspan. That's literally what Tyler Hero is. And also with a worse behind the back. Or maybe. I'm not sure about the behind the backs. Halliburton was good when he came out. I mean, he's E tier, but he was good when he came out. Tyson Chandler's like a way better version of like... He's a way better version of... Honestly, he's almost as good as... No, he's not as good as DJ. He's just a better version of Rudy Gobert. Wendell Carter Jr., I thought this guy's going to be way better than he was when he came out. His stats looked really good. Overall, he looked like a good card. I've used them. I've tried using him with a duo. I've tried using them anyway. I've never had success. The big Wong is going into S tier. Like Wong and Isaac, they are... Whatever tier Isaac's in, Wong will always be in. These guys are inseparable. And again, if you guys watch my... You'll see it in my like LeBron James with Limitless video. Like he cooked. He killed me. I couldn't score on Wong. He was the best. Then we've got Zydrunas Ilgauskas. So Zydrunas Ilgauskas, as far like he's going C. I like the card. He's good. 40 speed is bad, but he's a giant. You can get away with it on next gen. On current, obviously, don't use this guy. He's a giant who can shoot, and he's not that bad. I think maybe even... If Hassan Jin's A, Zydrunas Ilgauskas is going to be a really good card. I think Kuzi. I'm going to go Kuzi in B. I don't think Kuzi's good as like Jordan Poole. I don't think he's good as point guards up here. Kuzi's very similar to CP3. He is very similar to CP3. So it is preference. I think Kuzi's longer wingspan, so I'll go Kuzi. But they're very close to each other. Desmond Bane, he hits wide open shots, but he does it at a decent enough rate that I'm going to put him in C tier. Really, really good shooter. Buggy, he mashes. Or sorry, not Buggy. Matumbo, he mashes, but he mashes at a very, very high rate. He's bigger, but he's slower than DeAndre. I'm going to put him in the same tier as DeAndre Jordan. Eddie freaking Curry, I've used him. He's not going to go worthless tier because I actually have used him and he's been fairly good for me in game. The problem with Eddie Curry is he has got a wide player build. So just like Shaq, just like Bryant Reeves, if you have a wide player build and you're a center, it doesn't matter what your stamina is. You're going to be low on stamina after 30 seconds, and that's the problem with Eddie Curry. Gabe Vincent, he can score. I mean, he can score. Let's put him in D. He's not great, is he? Gerald Green, his SIGs are brilliant. I'm going to C tier with him. His release and his release is 70 on quick. I have a love-hate relationship with that release. But he's got the best behind the back in the game. He's got shifty dribble style or quick, one or the other. His SIGs are insane. If later on in the year, I think we're going to get an insane Gerald Green. Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I'm going A. No-brainer A tier. Absolutely no-brainer A tier. This guy can move. He can shoot. He can do everything that the glitch one can do except dunk. Wiseman, I don't like Wiseman. I know some people do, though. Some people swear by this card, so I'm going to put him B tier. Not the biggest fan. Hayes, A. Jarvis Hayes, A tier. He's in that... He's better than Bruce Bowen. He's better than John Havlicek. Jarvis Hayes is a player I've had a lot of success with. I really like that release. Honestly, what even... I can't even remember. What is Jarvis Hayes release? It's not 17, is it? 20. Oh, so the Scalabrini / Justice Winslow / can't even remember who else is that release. Matisse Thybulle, yeah, it's a really good release. Deshaun Stevenson. He is gonna go D. Kareem. He can paint mash. It's all Kareem really can do. And let's go through these last ones quick because I'm about to fall asleep on camera. Terrence Davis, garbage man. Maybe he's E tier, but he sucks. Ewing, he's not. I hate it. Like, as I always say, I only put Ewing on tier list to put him in the word list here. But he's C. He's C. Maybe B. He might even be B tier. I'm gonna put him C, but he might even be B. Nerlens Noel, I'm gonna put him into B tier. I actually really like Nerlens Noel. And he's more athletic. He plays good defense. He plays the lanes really well. Trust me, like if you got yourself an Nerlens Noel, you got a gem in your hands. McMillan, A, purely because he is a very tall point guard. He's better than Spencer Dinwiddie, 6'6" point guard. As well as that, he plays elite defense and he will shoot when he'll hit shots when he's wide open. Willis Reed, not terrible, not great. I'll go C tier for Willis Reed. And Paul Pierce. I mean, most people suck with his release. I'm gonna go B tier, but I actually kind of like Paul Pierce. I kind of like him. I think he is still B tier, but I'll go B tier. So yeah, this is it. These are my 10 players in S tier. These are my players in A as well. B, C, D, E, and worthless. So, lads, that's the video. I'm definitely going to bed right now. I'm just exhausted. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.